So, we made it to where the truck is, so we're going to do a quick once over, power tour's over for us, lame, we got to drive home, but we get to hang out with Uncle Tony and Uncle Kathy for a little bit, so that's fun. They're behind the camera, that'll be the next video, you can see them right away. Oh, that's it, that's all, pretty simple. A lot of driving, followed by more driving ahead of us. Bye. Clapped out. Okay, so we rented this fancy shop to prepare the car for the ride home. We can barely afford the 15 minutes we're going to be here, but we're going to make it happen. I don't know if they have Chevy tools in the Mopar shop or not, but we're out to Tony's. He's going to let us steal some of his shades. Well, you're part of it.
Well, I'm making noise here.
He's going to start...
We're not that fancy.
People love it, so we're going to borrow some of this junk and pull a drive shaft. Cap off the...
A lot of people thought you left the drive shaft on when we towed it down.
No, I didn't. I took her out, I'm pretty sure. I had to put it back in.
I'm just saying.
Oh, this is really good if I can just stand here while the work happens. So yeah, we're gonna yoke the drive shaft real quick and then we should be golden. Life's good. Okay, so Danny was yakking away with the help there while I did all the work. We got the drive shaft pulled. Just anyone asking, we did pull the drive shaft. We got that, we got the wire, the lights all hooked up. I got the tow bar on. Look at that, chains, safety chains, everything ready to go. Danny's gonna fire up this truck. Hopefully it fires up after sitting for a week. And we'll hook the tow bar up.
That's a cool tow bar.
My old man had it, it was freebie.
That's old.
Yeah, 1991 it was stamped.
That was the end of the tow bar era.
I think people look at us like we're idiots towing this like that, but keep going. This way a little bit.
What?
To the right just a little.
Like my right or your right?
Both of them say right. Turn the wheel to the right. Just a little. There you go. Now go back. Okay, so car's hooked up. We're all ready to go. We just got another original UTG gift. So if you guys don't see us in the background over here anymore, don't hate us. It was forced upon us.
I specifically said I did not want this gift.
But we're gonna tape it or something like that to the back window so people see it going down the highway looking ridiculous. I will do that before we go. But I want to do a quick walk around because I watch Uncle Tony all the time. I'm sure you guys do too. But if you're not, go check them out. And actually being in the shop is pretty awesome. And they're cool people too. They don't just play them on TV. But don't come visit them. But don't come visit him. He doesn't allow visitors. We had to pay the premium package. You don't even know how much it cost. And he smokes as much as you think. It's amazing. But seeing these cars in real life, man, it's all real done stuff. This is what you're gonna start working on right away. Well, so he says.
I want to race. I want to win. I like that.
It looks like they're pretty much there, ready to go as far as a couple of last fine-tuning things, and this thing's gonna be out there. Seeing Plan Z in real life. This thing, I remember watching it on YouTube, and how chopped up it is, how light it is, and you see it in real life and you go, that's scary. But he's driving it, or racing it, which is awesome. We saw Slaghammer on Power Tour with Al. I guess that's usually here, so that thing was cool. And then the Junkyard Jet guys, this thing is cool too. They definitely spent a few dollars on some trick items. But I like what they're doing. We got to meet Austin there the other day. Well, when we first came here, he was here, so he's a good dude too. I can't complain about any of our Nashville experience. Our whole down south experience has been great. But I think probably Danny wants to get home. We got 2 solid days of driving. She has to work on Monday. So do I guess. 2 solid days of driving, and I still want to stop and look at cowboy boots. Because where else do you get cowboy boots other than the south? So we're gonna do that. Well, we'll see you on the road, I guess. We gotta get gas and drinks. It's hot. So we're on some back roads, and I believe this is the Ohio River.
Yeah, right before it meets, right there is where it meets the Mississippi.
And there's all sorts of like paddle boats and we decided to take the scenic route on the way home. It takes a little bit longer, but we just drove through a bunch of small little towns and
it's so like look, it's so gorgeous. This is so cool.
Now we're on this giant 2-lane, I don't know what the heck this bridge thing is. It's long. I don't know.
In a 1/4 mile, turn right onto US 51, North Ohio River Scenic Byway.
We're on the scenic byway.
There you go. So we're just gonna kind of keep cruising around, see what we find. Headed.
Welcome to Illinois.
Oh, we're in Illinois. Girls. With a if we are at night, that's all neon.
Oh, hey, cool.
The
Pit
Lone
stop.
Star Dance Hall. What is this place? We're going over we're outside of St. Louis now. Oh, we got a giant boat beside us. We're going over another cool bridge. There was like 3 or 4 little strip clubs in that little town. I don't know in Illinois what the rules are with strip clubs, but maybe it's I don't know. Why would there be so many?
If you get to take the chance to take the national route, that's what we're on right now, the scenic byway.
Yeah, bypass or whatever.
Take it. We're gonna go with take it. So we're gonna go over the Mississippi again for like the 3rd time today.
The Bill Emerson Memorial Bridge, Mississippi River. It's a pretty nice little drive home.
Wow, cool bridge.
Welcome to Missouri.
Thanks.
Good morning. We had a nice stay at a luxury resort last night. Truck outside this fine rest stop. But we're on the other side of Kansas City, I think. We're gonna give the car and everything a quick once over and start jamming home. Unfortunately, it's Sunday. I wanted to get some cowboy boots, but I don't know if everything's gonna be open by the time stuff opens. We might be too far away from where all the good cowboy boots are. Oh well. Let's brush your teeth. We're gonna hit the road. Should be a fun 14 hours home. We didn't do much filming today because it's been a pretty boring drive. I had to pick up a cowboy hat and some American AF boots, which are pretty sweet. But we just passed the last exit, or maybe coming up to the last exit before Canada. So we made it home. It's been a long day. We left yesterday at 6 o'clock in the morning and slept on the side of the road for a bit, and now it is 7:21 p.m. and it's still hot. 37 degrees is 90-something degrees Fahrenheit. So the heat followed us the entire way home, but we're maybe an hour from home. So we'll see you there. We'll close out the video there, and yeah, thanks for watching up till now. It's been a lot of driving for us. Well, I got home late last night, and it was dark, so I just dumped this hot rod. The city's working here on the street, because what else do you do with it? Anyways, I thought today I would put the Driveshaft back in. What else am I gonna do? Oh, I got a collector gasket for it, and yeah, we'll put it all back together. And then, there's stuff in here. And this hot rod tour. So let's get it in the trunk real quick. Oh, well, the Leatherman's not a pry bar, that's for sure. Alright, so we got this thing sketchy jacked up. Should be fine. This is how I mounted this plug-in when we were leaving. I was in a bit of a hurry, I guess. So there's just a pile of tape everywhere. It's fine. So we'll get this out. Slow drive shaft in. We'll jack the back end up. Oh man, I went around the exhaust. That was dumb. And I ran it a bit today too. That was even dumber. Oh well, she'll smoke a little. Oh, that's stuck. Huh. All right, I'll fight with this for a bit. So, what did I do here? All right, so just slide this drive shaft in. Well, it's jacked up in the front. It's kind of easy to get to it. Then I can just pop your old girl in neutral and spin the rear end, and the transmission throwing matches on the back side. Get this nicely organized out here. A little dust control on the street. And yeah, carry on. It's tight. Well, we got our sketchy jacked up there. Oh, I used stupid tape on this. It's already going decent. I need my knife. Where'd I put it? Oh, it's probably up top. You know, you get so spoiled having a garage all the time. When you go back and work on the side of the road, yeah, it's not quite as fun. Well, that's actually cool, okay. Just don't want to rip the caps off and lose all the needle bearings, gentle, all over the roadway. So far, so good. Gentle. Now, I guess my old man was telling me back in the day, you old timers would know this, but people flat towed, they had like a set of bearings or something like that. You pull the wheel off, bolt them on, kind of like a front wheel drive car would have. Oh, where's the bolts? And well, I gotta find a set of those or make a set of those. Because pulling a drive shaft, it sucks. Gentle, gentle. But whatever, we'll fight through her. Story of my life. Okay, one in. Let's spin. Spin. Hoping I can take all the weight out of this thing too. Last day of power tour there, tried to do a burnout, so well, actually vice grip kind of egged me on, but wouldn't do it. Combination, I guess, of too heavy maybe and changing the gear ratio. Okay, there we go. But it did sail on the highway. Okay, we're back together. I'll put 4 nuts on there, and then we'll get to go to the front. Oh, you can't see anything. It's a good shot anyways. Go to the front and put the exhaust on. So, this is good. This is gonna just show a little bit of my stupidity. But so after driving this thing, we did 1,000 miles, or whatever, 1,500 miles in power tour. We went back and forth all the way to the South States, back and forth, and this thing was just riding like a brick. And I pulled those leaves out and all that sort of stuff. So we made it probably, let's say 3,000 or 4,000 miles, at least. I had put the suspension together wrong. So I noticed, I don't know if I'll show up, that tire's got a scuff mark on it, and I'm looking, well, it is basically touching the leaf, and the leaf, well, everything's all bent to hell. Now here's what I did in my panic. These, see how they horseshoe this way? This horseshoe is supposed to be on the front side, like that. So what's happening, this piece right here, it's in contact with the perch itself. It don't matter what kind of springs you have or how many leaves you take out. If it's touching there, that's a solid suspension right there. So, I don't know if these are all bent to crap or if it's simply just chewed up this bushing in there, which is what I'm hoping. We're not going to fix that right now. We're going to drop this thing down, and because it's raining, story of my life, and well, deal with it later. Well, maybe we'll pull in the garage. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I bet if I switch those side to side, this thing will have all the suspension in the world. All right, let's get this rig unhooked. I think I'm just going to mess with it in the garage. It's starting to rain as much as I want to work on the street, not. I'd rather not be soaking wet. So this thing flat towed just fine, for all of you who doubted me. And you know what we saw? I don't know if I said it in the video or not yet. I think it was in Illinois. We saw a guy, 2 guys, flat towing 3 in a row. So one car flat towing, the other one flat towing behind it. So I feel like if that was happening, what I was doing was just fine. And honestly, it made it no problem. 5,000, 4,000 miles, whatever it was. Okay, let's just take a minute and bask in my incompetence. Now these are your shackles, and obviously they'll go kind of something along like that. And this is to the car, and this is to the spring, which has its little bit of flex. As you can see, they're staggered, so that's the car side, that's the spring side. Now what I did is I put the left side on the right and the right side on the left. Now because they're kind of C-shape, horseshoe shape, whatever you want to call them, I had put it on this. This is supposed to go like this on the driver's side, but I had it this way. Now what was happening is when the spring would come down, it's supposed to flex a little bit. As the spring, obviously, the arc gets flatter, it has to push this back to compensate for that. That's how the suspension works. Now because I had it backwards, it has less travel. You can see here, this one, it's got this big horseshoe, so that's where it has lots of room. So you can see this one right there, she's all beat to shit. So when I had the original springs on, I know it wasn't touching because there was no suspension travel whatsoever. As I started taking leaves out, it had a little bit, but it got real hard. Well, that's because this was contacting. So what happened with that is every time it would try and go, it would try and then stop, but it would have some slop in it, and the suspension was essentially just doing its thing. So these are the bushings that came out. Now these were brand new. Well, they got 5,000 miles on them now, but as you can see, they're junk. Now Napa, of all places, actually had, they didn't have the small ones, so this goes on the bottom, these go on the top. They had just the top ones in stock, which is actually a decent price, same price as Rock Auto. Now these are the same diameter around and in the center because they have the same size bolt. The top ones are just longer because it's wider, right? Now, when it wore out, because the spring was cocked, it wore out one side on the top and one side on the bottom, but the vice versa sides were still in good shape. So this one's easy, we'll just replace that, no problem. And the little one here, all we gotta do is take that much out and replace that, and we're back in business. So I'm gonna get those kind of back together, get these on the proper side. And I did, just in case anyone was wondering, I had the factory one, because I didn't throw them out. What am I doing here? This side. If you match them up, they're fine. Why do I have the same size here? Anyway, I matched them up. I found another one was the exact same, and same with these. I had them laying on top of each other. The shackle didn't bend. Everything that happened was in this ugliness. So we should be able to fix that up. That'll pull the rear end back straight, and we'll be golden. Okay, so we skipped ahead a little bit. Now, I changed everything underneath. Man, I'm dirty. Now what I did, I added a leaf on each side because, well, the suspension wasn't moving. So it did have some flex, obviously, and then locked up. So we put it back to 5 leaf, which is factory. It's a lot of screwing around to get back to exactly where we were before we left on the trip. Hopefully these springs are starting to sack out. Be fine. We're going to put the wheels back on and see how it sits full of tools and all that. I assume it's probably going to be hanging down low in the back, but there's no point now in adding another leaf because it's going to not have a pile of tools in the back. I mean, it's so heavy. There's so much extra weight in this thing. It's all together. Everything's torqued, ready to go. Wheels go back on, drop it down. Hopefully it fits good. Then we'll do the collector gasket after supper. So it sits a little lower, not actually too bad. Look at all that suspension. All right, I'm gonna have something to eat. All right, well, another idiot moment with Dan. So I pulled out this collector gasket. I'm like, well, this don't look blown out at all. It looks in really nice shape. But well, it's clacking. Then I look down here and notice this and this. So that's our problem. Now it's probably blown out, but I'll try tightening it up and see what it does. Back to the parts tomorrow for some header gaskets, not collector gaskets. Well, I don't know if you can hear that or not, or hear me even, but that's the problem. Every bolt on both headers were loose. So, yeah. I'll get some new gaskets tomorrow and go from there. But that's it for this video. That's it for, man, what a heck of a fail we had here, but that's the way she goes. Made it there and back. One set of collector gaskets, not the end of the world. Now it's got a little bit of suspension. Probably rides nice, but that's really it for now. I want to do a video about Power Tour, just to summarize it and why you guys should go. That'll be coming up next. I insured my 55 Chevy today. We're gonna bring that home, so there's lots of good stuff. Don't worry, I'm getting back on the Nomad, probably.